is such an intellectual thinker and is not the prototypical offensive lineman. What's that environment like?
It's fun. I mean, we learn a lot from Harry, in terms of a lot of things when it comes to literature, music, and things like that. But it's just nice. Like I said, I think I said this last year, but like our offensive line has really developed a lot of different personalities, which at first is a little scary because you're like, okay, not everyone's exactly the same in terms of how they think or how they were kind of raised up and things like that. But like, it's kind of been a blessing in disguise because we got so many different relationships and different backgrounds that people have, and it's just nice to learn from each other. So like, it's been a great addition having him in the offensive line room.
Nicholas, what's it like lining up at left tackle when you've been playing right tackle?
It's a transition. We're trying some new stuff out just to see. I mean, I played a little bit of left. I played a little bit of left here for a few like weeks or like a year or two, and then I also played left tackle in high school. So it's a transition. So it's early right now, so I'm still working at it. But I'm willing to try out anything, and it's a new challenge, and I'm willing to go for it.
What are the biggest challenges of moving from right side to left side?
Just getting comfortable with it. It's just a different. I feel like there's like a different timing to it. Like in terms of right side, I have a different timing in terms of how I set, how I do things, and left side, I'm kind of learning that there's a little different timing to it. Play wise, I mean everything. I feel great with the plays and everything like that. It's just about getting comfortable in the position, understanding what makes me comfortable, what makes the timing right for me, and just to get used to that.
Do you have to like change your technique, or is it just kind of getting used to lining up, going a different direction than the other?
I think it's the set technique's the same. It's just getting comfortable with it. Like Coach Stud is one of the best offensive line coaches in college football. So he always makes sure that we have a great technique and a great mindset whenever we come out to practices. So I don't really think I've changed anything in terms of the teaching. Like he hasn't told me anything different about my technique or what I need to change. All he's told me is just you just need to go and keep working at it, keep improving day in and day out. Because it's only day 6, so we still have a lot more to go.
What's it like? Go ahead.
What's it like having Thayer next to you as opposed to on the other side of the line?
It's pretty cool. I mean, like, says Thayer was a big brother to me when I first came here, and now me being next to him is kind of like a culmination of just like me and him working together and him being my big brother, and then now I get to finally play next to him, which I never even thought was a possibility, but anything's possible. So I'm just very humbled to get a chance to play next to Thayer, who's obviously one of the best tackles in America, and now transitioning to guard where I believe that he can do that as well. I mean, he's just one of the best offensive linemen in college football right now, so it's just an amazing opportunity.
In that group, you essentially have four guys that play tackle, two guys in Paris playing guard. What does that give you that maybe the more traditional look doesn't?
I think we're a lot athletic. I think there's probably an athleticism part to it, but I mean, everyone we have here at Ohio State's athletic, whether they play guard, tackle, or center. I mean, it's just that those are the 5 guys that are playing right now, and we're going to still keep working at it, try to find the best 5. So that's just kind of the mindset. But we're all athletic. I mean, everyone we have is athletic, so it's pretty much the same type of offensive line. We're all strong, big, athletic. We do all those things that we've been doing.
And it doesn't sound like that's definite that that's going to happen, that you stay on the left side or the third foot guard. How much shuffling has gone on even through 6 days?
There's been a little bit of shuffling here or there. I mean, what I'll say is that we're still trying to look for our best 5. That's always been the mindset whenever we come into camps like this, no matter if people started the year before or if people coming in that are really highly talented or whatever. It's always about finding our best 5 and finding the best 5 that work. So whatever that means, however long that takes, we're going to go ahead and do that.
So how has Dewan pressed you guys to make that push where he could be one of those 5?
He's been really good in film study. He knows his technique. He knows the plays. He knows when to make calls. I mean, like he's been really impressive in terms of his growth from last year to this year. That's been impressive. I've been impressed with just his attitude and how he comes out to practice every day with a lot of juice and a lot of energy. That's kind of uplifted the offensive line a little bit whenever we come out, because now we have that. We kind of bounce off of him because as a unit together, we kind of bounce off one another. So him coming out with a lot of juice and energy kind of just rubs off on me, which rubs off to Paris, which rubs off to every single person in the offensive line unit, 1s through 3s. So it's just really good to have him and having that energy around.
Nick, we can have a lot of conversations about what each of you guys has sort of shown the coaches and why that's why you're lining up now. Did you feel like, not just in the past week, but in the past year, that you've shown them something new that would make them consider you at left tackle right now?
I don't think I've shown them anything new. I just want to work hard and play and do whatever I can to make this team better. Whatever that is, whatever position that is, I'm willing to do that because the number one goal here is for us to go ahead and graduate and win a national championship. That's always been the goal. So that hasn't changed in terms of last year, hasn't changed since I've been here. I've always just tried to make this team better, whatever they need me to do, whatever they ask me to do, and just to keep improving every single day and get better. And then down the line, we get to that national championship title and we win that. So.
Nicholas, is your left tackle like a bigger challenge? Is there a bigger responsibility at left tackle?
That's the mindset. I mean, everything's a responsibility. I would never say that like one position's way more important than the other. Like every single guy on the line, it takes all five for us to block and to make sure that we all get the job done. Because if one of us messes up, the play's dead. So it takes all five of us. So every single position is important. I just want to play as hard as I can, and I just want to play even harder because now I have an even new position. So I really just want to work at it and keep working at it and trying to see if I can get comfortable with it.
Nicholas, is there someone in the group that kind of will lift you guys up if there's a day or a minute or an hour or something that goes by that maybe everybody's not feeling their best and someone is kind of the catalyst and the leader and says, come on guys, we got to pick this up a notch, let's get things going?
Like I said, we have a lot of different personalities, so it all comes with different strokes. I mean, I would say Thayer is really good at making sure that we keep on track and we keep focused when we're on the field and we're practicing and stuff like that. And when it comes to like technique and things like that and making sure we're focused in that department, I think he's really good there. We have a lot of guys that when it comes to film study that make sure that we're on track. I mean, Harry's really good at film study. Luke's also another one that's been really focused on film study and stuff like that. And then there's also guys that just kind of lift us up when it's just like in the little hours that we have where we're just sitting around doing whatever. Guys that are just funny to be around, fun to hang out with, and there's just so many different personalities. So like, there's a lot of different areas to that question, but I think every single one of us has contributed somehow, some way to being part of that.
Everybody's got their own personalities, their own unique blend, kind of bring it all together as one. Is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
How much has Thayer helped you personally with playing left tackle?
He's helped me a lot. I mean, him being right next to me, he gives me tips on what he's done and what he thinks worked in the past. And like also he says this. He also says that you have to grow into that position yourself. Like I can't be Thayer Mumford. I can't be whoever. I can only be Nicholas Petit-Frere. So that's the main thing that I'm trying to focus on right now. Is just being myself, being the best that I can be, whatever that is, day by day, and just keep improving.
How do you feel like maybe you are different from Thayer?
That's a tough question. I mean, because me and Thayer have been together for so long that I feel like I'm kind of like, in essence, just like me and him are just like brothers at this point, I mean, like, even though we came from different backgrounds, different states and stuff like that, but I mean, like, I feel like we and him are really comparable in terms of just our work ethic and how hard we work. And I feel like that's the reason why we are comparable in that nature is because I learned it from him. I learned his work ethic, the way that he came to practice every single day, the way he did film study, the way that he was a professional on and off the field, and that just kind of rubbed off on me being a young guy, and now I'm here. We're both the older guys in the group, and like I just kind of feel like we're kind of similar in that nature.
Coach Doug was talking about pad level for both you and Paris. How do you work on pad level? What do you do to get improved in that?
We go through the shoots a lot, so that's something that we've been doing a lot, just to go through the shoots and stuff like that. Always just thinking about knee bend, making sure that we're stretched out and ready to go, and just having mental cues to make sure that we have good knee bend, first step, drive step with that knee in the ground. So just little mental cues that we have, and then we also have little drills that we do. But what it comes down to is just us going out to practice and just doing it. You can never get too many reps because you can always get another rep to get better.
Enoch was talking about needing to put on weight. Dewan had to lose weight. Obviously, you had your battles when you got here early. How can you help guys when, regardless of which way they need to go, how do you help guys in the offensive line room that need to either gain, lose, whatever it may be when they're here and they don't?
It's all about encouragement. That's one thing that we always talked about at the very beginning of this winter, is that one of our core tenets for our whole team is about encouragement and making sure that we encourage people. So that's where I feel like I'm really strong at, is that I'll always try to encourage people and I'll always try to give insight on my past histories and my past struggles, which every offensive lineman here has had a struggle somehow, some way, whether it was from playing time, trying to get comfortable playing, trying to gain weight like myself, or trying to lose weight like Dewan. Like, everyone has their own journey and their own struggle. So it just kind of depends on whoever that person reaches out to or leaches onto, them inspiring them to keep going, keep grinding, keep improving every single day.
Nick, Ramos said Claire Thompson is destroying people. That was his quote. He said it a couple times. Is he destroying people just with like his like pure athleticism that he brought in, or is he starting to destroy people with like the technique that he's supposed to be learning? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he destroying people with what he's gleaned here? I guess he's trying to.
He's probably one of the hardest workers on the offensive line. So that's how I'm gonna explain that. Like Paris Johnson came in with one of the best work ethics and one of the best mindsets I've ever seen someone come into Ohio State with, whatever position. Like Paris was one of a kind when he came in. He had such a good mindset. He was so focused, so determined, and from that year, from when he first came in to now, it's just culminating into who he is as a player. And I'm very glad that Coach Stud sees it as well, and I hope that the whole nation sees it as well, how good of a player Paris Johnson can be and how much work ethic and how dedicated he is to his craft.
How are you, I guess, starting to see the work ethic on the field? Maybe especially as he's now becoming a guard, as he wasn't playing originally.
He just comes in to work every single day. I remember when we asked Paris last year during the season, hey, would you want to switch to guard? And then he was like, I'm down for it. And he did that not only for the love of the team and for the unit, but just because he's capable of doing that, because he's that talented of a player already, and he's that determined and that skilled to work at something even if he's not comfortable with it. And now like he's culminating into that player, whatever position he was told to play, whatever he's playing right now, he's just letting who he is as a person shine.
Nick, you probably been asked this before I walk up here, but people are naturally either right-handed or left-handed. Do you feel more natural on the at left tackle? I mean, how much of a switch is that for you?
I mean, I it's kind of a little bit here and there. I mean, it's just getting comfortable with the timing and things like that. Like, so I am like naturally right-handed, but I mean, I have done a lot of stuff with my left hand when I was a kid and stuff like that. Like eating, I usually eat with my left hand and stuff like that. So it's not like something that like is foreign to me having to play left or right. Like I've done it before in high school. I've done it here. So, you know, it's just me. What it really comes down to is just me getting comfortable with the timing, me getting as many reps as I can, and just keep repping it out. Because that's the best way to become a better offensive lineman, to become a better football player, is to get reps. Whenever you can get a rep, you get a rep. And if you mess up, it's all right. Come back in, watch the film, learn from your coaches, see what you did wrong, come back and do it again. And keep repping it out until you get it right, and then build on that.
Is your best guess that you will be the left tackle or the right tackle?
My best guess is that we're going to put the best five we can, and whatever position that is, I'm willing to play it if I'm one of the best five, and I hope I am, and we're just going to keep working at it.
Nicholas, I think you signed an NIL deal the first morning that it started. Just curious how that process has gone for you.
It's been nice. I mean, I wanted to make sure that I focused on fall camp and the season. So, I mean, overall, like, there's a few deals that people have reached out to me after that deal. I actually have a little portfolio now of like a lot of you guys, a lot of you reporters. Thank you so much for writing articles about me, about my first NIL deal and talking about it, because that kind of has given me a portfolio for me to hand to other people if they were ever to ask me like, well, what have you done in NIL so far, or how are you marketable? I have a portfolio now of different articles and little tidbits and little tweets and stuff like that that you guys have written about me. So I just wanted to first say thank you guys for doing that. I'm very appreciative. I'm very humbled by that. But you know, just there's a few deals that people have reached out to me because of that first NIL deal, and because of just the power that Ohio State has. So right now I'm still just focused on fall camp, and then hopefully once fall camp's over and we have a little gap right before Minnesota, which we're still going to be focused on that I make sure that it doesn't affect me when it comes to school and when it comes to football, and I make sure that I can balance that, which is a new balancing act that we all have to learn. So I hope that we can all do it in a very good fashion.
You sound like you were.
Last question right here.
You were prepared for it, this new balancing act, like you've been practicing in the backyard or something. I mean, how long coming was the NIL as far as when you look at it, and how justified is it to be here?
Well, I mean, we started learning about the NIL really coming into effect about maybe 2.5 weeks prior to the courts making the decision.
But you knew it was coming down the road, is what I'm saying, right? As a player, you didn't?
No, I'm telling you, like, where I was like around like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks when they came out saying, hey, this NIL opportunity is coming out, be prepared. We don't know if it's going to happen yet or not, but if it does, we don't want you guys to get caught off guard either by doing things you don't know yet, or to be caught off guard and be behind on the curve, be behind on the ball. So in terms of that nature, it was still new to everyone. It's still new to me. I feel like from my high school at Berkeley Prep to me being here at Ohio State prepared me for an opportunity like this. It's not necessarily they prepared me for NIL opportunities. It's that the power of Ohio State and the people that have been around me and all the coaches and all the staff and everyone that's around me, they prepared me for an opportunity like NIL. It's just that no one knew that NIL was going to be a possibility. So I'm very humbled and grateful to have those people around me and have everyone that taught me and kind of grew me into the person I am today, which is why I feel like we were all kind of prepared for NIL.
Now, how deserving are y'all to have is what I'm getting to justifiable? I mean, a lot of people thought this was a long time coming, that college athletes would take advantage of this kind of situation. Did you ever give that any thought before?
It's just very humbling to get the opportunity. That's kind of the main point I want to emphasize. We're here to play college football and to get a degree. That's been the number one goal for Ohio State ever since I got here, and NIL is just a new opportunity for that. I'm very grateful to everyone that came before me that kind of fought for the NIL opportunity, because I understand that as athletes, we're not just student athletes. We also have personalities as well. We have things that kind of make us shine as a human being, not only just by what we do on the field and what we do in the classroom. We all have different personalities when it comes to things that we're passionate about. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity for us to be able to do that as athletes now and to shine in a new stage. So like in terms of like a long time coming, I think it was a long time coming just for us to be able to shine with our personalities, which we have done before, but NIL gives us a new opportunity to kind of flourish in that.